This is your weekend market review for February 17th, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review for February 17th, Friday, 2023, Great week, I would say. If you are new to the channel and are just kind of checking things out, I hope you see why we are bearish. Ultimately, I know a lot of people don't like to short the market or be bearish, but we are evidence-based traders trying to follow the probabilities and the evidence versus trying to be emotional and trying to feel our way through the market. Because one of the things that I warn people constantly about is their emotions and trying to feel their way through things versus defining risk, having stops, having a plan, sticking to a plan, and also just doing what the market is doing. It sounds so easy, but as we always say, learning to trade is easy. Executing how to trade is the difficult part. And hopefully at the end of this video, you'll see why we're anticipating the market to drop in time. How much? Again, we'll get there when we get there, but let's talk about it. Again, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I do tons of live chats, 2 to 3, maybe a week at minimum. And I really like to get people involved, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You don't show up knowing how to do this stuff. It goes against your mental makeup. If you have an A-type personality, you're going to struggle when you're losing. If you're a B-type personality, you're going to be easily kind of tricked and kind of confused. And again, 90% of this is mental. It's just, again, once you add day trading and you start to overtrade, remember, you have mental, emotional capital. It's not just all about how much capital you have in your account. It's how much you have in your head and how much can you spend, because our brains don't function like unlimited computers. The more you run, the more you get tired. The more you think, the more your brain gets tired. So trying to execute day trades all day, every day, keeps people from seeing the bigger picture. And that's where it's always a struggle for those who day trade versus swing trading. Swing trading is, I think, 10,000 times easier, but being right away has to be something you can be confident that you're not sometimes, and you can withstand what I call the heat. So if you want to join the Discord room, a link is in the description below. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Always dropping what we're up to. As I've said, at inflection points, the trolls, the haters, whatever you want to call them, and I love all of your feedback, trust me, good and bad, typically shout the loudest and then disappear, only to be following later, or just continue to be one of those people that watches CNBC and swears that the market makers in the game that is meant to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people is guiding them to win. I watched this on CNBC and this is right. I follow this big guy and he's so smart. Well, guess what? The smartest people typically don't teach what they're doing, because again, if you have an advantage, why would you want to help everybody? And B, they spend a lot of money probably figuring it out, so they're not going to share. Again, I'm the one-off, and I guarantee I will not get growth because I am not marketing this. And also, it doesn't really make sense. This isn't sexy. This isn't get-rich-get-quick scheme. So again, I don't believe that I'll ever be big following, because I don't care. I don't want to be. I'd rather, again, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. I want people who want to work hard. I'm not looking for people who go, oh, teach me how to get rich in trading, Dan. Well, guess what? Most people fail in trading. 95% of them do. So let's teach you how to not lose money first, and then we'll talk about that later. So if you're new as well, please check out all the educational trading videos, the Back to Basics series. It is so freaking hilarious how many people ask questions, and it's like, how bad do you want to learn this? Do you want me to help you, but you just want all the answers, when literally all the answers are here in these sequences? And take notes of it. Please have a journal and take notes, watch the videos. I'm telling you, trading is easy to learn, but look how many little things are in between that we talk about. And again, if you're involved, you'll know we talk about a lot of this stuff constantly as a refresher. But knowing this stuff is important. Again, like, how do you expect to learn a foreign language if you don't even know the alphabet or the sounds? So Bitcoin, let's just get into it. You know, we talked about, I was doing a live review and said, if this kind of gets over this, I'd watch the upper 23, maybe 24 range. Well, look what you got to 25. Dan, you're just a terrible trader. No, again, I never said short this. I said just watch it. Well, the thing that I'm concerned about, just like gold, a lot of other stuff in general, that is risk assets, that if the liquidity is drying up, the market's going to go down. Nothing's safe. They throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you've never heard that saying, it's true. And I'm concerned generally that this could be just like what? 2018 into 2020, like 3 years of just nothingness. You know, you find your bottom, you chop. Are we ready to rally? I think we might be more in this like cycle, which could bottom out. Then we go. And if you are a long-term bull, you might argue this is the bottom out phase, which I could see as well. But I think there's just still way too much optimism in Bitcoin, not because it's deserved or not, but just in general. Like if you want to wipe out the weak hands, I think you got to go a little lower. Oil, talked about this being a chop zone. There's easier trades out there. If you're not sure what to do, don't do anything. That's usually the best thing to do. And if you look at oil and you think it's going up long term, wait for the dips. And if it does go higher, just be prepared. You don't have to pick the bottom here. And again, it's really hard to anticipate the market going down and oil going higher. If that does happen, guess what? As the market's dropping, there's probably going to be easier trades, which we're going to talk about here very shortly. Natural gas. Relentless every single day. I get posters, friends, family. What do you think of natural gas? And I've said, leave it the hell alone. Again, there's a stock I like that we're going to talk about that exports it. But do I actually want to buy natural gas or the UNG? I don't think so. I'd rather just leave it alone. Because again, if the market is anticipated to go down, and these things are already signaling weakness like the market is, do I really want to buy them? It should be. I would hope the answer is obvious, but maybe not. Again, people don't trade with their emotions. They look at the charts and they go, well, I don't care. I think the market's doing this. Okay, well, whoop-de-doo. The dollar. All right, first thing. We talked about the market bottoming or topping early February. Well, here you go. Here's the first sign of topping this action. And again, you're going to see it when we get in the charts. It just doesn't feel like it. The dollar bottomed. We talked about this area. We said, watch for a bear trap. Well, there's your bear trap. Novice gap, reversal, professional gap. If you don't know what the gaps are, novice and professional, please watch the video. Novice ends the move. Professional starts the move. Novices jump in short. Professionals push the move higher because they're all in. They want it. Now what? Over the 15-day and 20-day basing, I don't know how we're going to get there, what structure, but I think we're going higher. That's all I really need to know. Things that are bearish for the market. TLT, higher rates. We talked about the lower high in the 200-day wasn't going to be good. If you couldn't get over it, goodbye. Well, now we hit the low end of the range, which my alarm's at. Could it bounce? Maybe. Keep in mind, higher rates, bad for the market. Volatility in the rates, bad for the market too. If the rates go screaming lower, something's wrong, right? Inverted yield curve, all the signs to weakening economy are coming. Okay? Inflation, though, is a problem. It's entrenching in. Again, we could go into the long discussion about interest rates. Ideally, not shorting it. Again, if you did short it up here, congratulations. Just be aware. There's a huge short position on going into when interest rates. The VIX. Well, I thought 405 was going to be the pin on the VIX. I should have been smarter and just realized the pin was 20. That's hilarious. Again, it's hard to know the pin action perfectly. I tell this to people all the time. They're trying to play this game of, oh, I think the pin action's doing this and this is the no. Oh, I've got this options. I follow this option monster. I've got this option game. No, you don't know who's buying and selling always. So that's the problem here, because sometimes people are selling to retail. You don't know it. Large amounts. Again, that's what the news is for. If you don't know this, check out the VPA rules in the room. It's very obvious. Anyway, back to my point. The VIX is bottoming, right? Here was the top in the market, the VIX bottom. And now what have we done? Made higher highs, higher lows. And I've said as soon as you can start sustained over the 20-day, get nervous if you're bullish. Well, again, you make a slightly higher low, whatever, below the 50-day. Are we above the 20-day? On OPEX, you would think if they really wanted to crush the options, they could. They had 3 straight days down. You look at this chart. You might say this looks bearish. I could maybe argue it's bullish. It's a higher high and a higher low, right? It's a need more information candle. And again, remember the VIX tends to be more red than it is green, right? Over time. Like all pops get sold eventually. Just keep that in mind. Remember, like it doesn't sustain highs. And then when it does, things are really bad. SPY. Let's get into it. Love this stuff. Took SPY puts off today. Guess where? At the trend line. Wasn't hard. Started layering into Tesla. That's all I really did today with shorts. But we are below the 20-day. Here is your novice gap trap. Well, guess what? It took weeks. And what have we said? What is the repeating pattern? Double tap trap. Double tap trap. double tap, trap, trap, double tap, trap, trap, double tap, double top, trap. All right, you see how this works now. Here's your double tap, here's your trap. Now you're below the 20-day. Now, does it have to melt down immediately? Tough to know for sure. Ideally, if you're bearish, yes, you'd love that, right? But in my opinion, at this point, with all the evidence, it's going to play out when it plays out, right? So if you're bullish, yeah, everyone say you broke the downtrend, but keep in mind, during bear markets, the VIX will peak somewhere above 47 or more. We got to 38, so the bear market ain't over based on that. And guess what? Also, too, in bear markets, the rallies are 20%. QQQs rally 20%, and now what? Well, let's look at. Oops. Hits resistance zone, novice gap, trap. 20-day breaks. Again, don't be surprised if it just plays games around here again, because that's the thing about novice traders and day traders. They don't see the bigger picture here. If this was a 10-minute chart, they'd go, oh, crap, that's bearish. But it's a daily. They're like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I can't time the market. I can't predict it. Well, again, can you predict it within minutes or hours? No, but usually within days. That's what we're trying to do here. That's the difference in mindset, from patience to impatience, instant reward to grand rewards from being patient. Think of Livermore. When he had great trades, the best thing he did to guarantee his wins was to what? Sit on his hands. Patience, grasshopper. So looking at the Qs again, where can it go? I mean, not surprised too. This is like top of the box. I don't know why the box isn't pulled over. But do you see? I mean, let's just put it there. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, exactness. Again, don't bring a razor to trading. No, don't bring a ruler. Right? You've got action here. You've got time. Be confident. And again, define your risk. This is the hardest part about swing trading. No different than day trading, but define your damn risk. And if you're buying out of the money, short-dated options, you are now taking on unlimited risk to blow up. So define your risk. If you're going to trade options, trade smaller amounts. Right? Trade small. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? Do you know? Be smart. Be thoughtful. Give yourself time. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Well, if you take the when out of there by time-wise, so you're not constricted by, I got to hit that, the market needs a dump by Tuesday of next week, well, then you got a problem. Try to take out that variable. IWM, holding up pretty well today. People trying to argue it's bullish. I'm just like, this thing is novice gap and just makes lower lows, and then it's come back this week and chopped all day, all week. And if you look at the weekly, do you know what this is, right? It's just an inside candle. Doesn't really tell you much. Lower high, higher low. Inside candle. Doesn't tell you much. Holding the 20-day, so far, I mean, you could argue bullish or bearish. I would argue the move's over. The trend is broken, right? If you kept it like a very vertical kind of trend, whatever you want to say. The trend is broken. It's just testing the backside, chopping out. When? We will see. Gold. If you've been following for weeks, we talked about trappy tops. Remember, don't put this in your head that tops and bottoms are V's. They're usually choppy, 90% of them. That's why if you do options, the best time to trade is on the retest, not on the first top or bottom. Just keep that in mind. Don't forget that. We talked about the easy short was up here. I know it went a little higher than we thought. Well, that's part of the trading, right? Like the market loves to trap. Just like down here when we told you to buy it. Literally, it was like, watch what happens. We told you to buy it this day. Also bought some on the Fed day. That was a professional gap, and it started. Makes a new high, trap, professional gap. Well, in this case, we took a lot of our options profit just because, again, we knew the IB had exploded, and we knew what? Gold could chop. But we sucked to dust. And again, shorting other stuff. I mean, gold, how much are you really going to make shorting gold? I think there's way better trades out there shorting tech, hence pivoting, but still have dust because dust will get smoked. Okay, hit our first target, holding. Okay, we'll see what happens. Silver, doggy. Dogging. But down into support range, okay, maybe it needs to just chop out. That's what silver does. Right? It just chops out. So in that case, just keep it simple. Right? If you're looking at this, I look at it and go, all right, well, do I even want to trade it? No. Just watch it. GDX, here you go. Speaking of donkey. Breaks the trend, holds the 100, 200 day. Little head and shoulders top, professional gap. Now it's at the bottom of the range. Could it bounce? Potentially. Again, if you had dust or options calls, you know, near term, don't be surprised if it rallies a little bit. And if it doesn't, even better. Made a new low today and a new low off the highs. Or sorry, new low. High. And so at this point, we'll see. I mean, if you don't know the past, and you don't know how miners get absolutely slaughtered if the market drops, then, again, I can't do every video. I can't review it. GDXJ, same thing. Head and shoulders top at the 100, 200 day. Let it play out. I mean, if it needs a chop a little bit, this thing can do that. Maybe even counter rallies. At this point, if you have dust and you want to take it, great. If you want to hold on to it and you're just going to be prepared to trade around your core position, remember, if say you had 1,000 shares, you just took 500 off and said, you know what, I'm going to let it ride because you just took, 500 shares from 11 to 15. Not a bad trade. Let's see what happens. Because, again, there's no guarantee that it has to rally. It seems like it could, but does it have to? I mean, AG, we've talked about. This is a piece. Again, this thing is like, why is this thing not making new highs as gold was rallying? Now it's down here. Man, did it really get back into the box? Did it get into the box? It did. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. It totally did. Okay. Well, maybe it's due to bounce. Do you want to trade it? I don't. I could care less. There's a million other trades I'd rather do. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. At this point, who knows? AEM misses by a penny today. Bam! This is what happens when something's not bullish. Professional gap. Now you have the 3 gap trap. Now this is where it could be like, okay, well, it chops a little bit. We'll see. Either way, miners get smoked. Second quarter, sometime starting in February OPEX. Well, the February OPEX was not friendly to AEM, going from 51 down to 44 at one point. Ouch. Newmont. Get your hammer out. This thing's going to get smoked. Back at, old trend line, cool story. At some point, this thing, we talked about it. Watch past recaps. It's you don't want to own these stocks. And again, and this is the thing. Every day I get trolled by gold miners, bugs, which I call them cockroaches. They're the worst because gold bugs, they're a bug. Gold miners, they're cockroaches. Like they're gonna just disappear in the dark once this thing dumps. Pass. I don't know. If you want to trade it, great. If you bought, again, here's the dust. If you bought it down here, I said, watch out what happens when it gets to 14 or 15. Watch it. You're there now. If you have to take some off, please do. All right, let's get into tech because this is where it's starting to get ugly. We've talked about AMD loves to blow off top before it flops. Novice gap, blow off top. Say it with me now, flop. Now, again, I know it's holding the gap in the 200-day, but not time. Taiwan Semi, you're welcome. I know people are frustrated by it, but it's like, man, you just try to get near the high. Don't chase. Please don't chase. And then Buffett says, I'm out. Bye-bye. NVIDIA, I told you guys, the people I I hang out with at the gym, people I play basketball with, play poker, they're all loving NVIDIA. All loving it, telling me it's going higher. Literally this day. No. They got earnings next week, so be prepared for anything. SMH, things that look bearish. Novice gap, trap, gap down, 20-day. If you get the follow through, that gap is going to confirm game over. If you check this thing out on the weekly, which most people won't, this is not good. It's like a head and shoulders within a head and shoulders. Left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder. And again, each time the right shoulder made a slightly higher high before failing. If you go look at the monthly, you know what happens to this stuff. It goes way down. People are like, oh, but semiconductors are the future. No one's going to argue that. But when have semiconductors not been the future? Do you know how they did when they didn't do well? Probably don't. So when you ask that question, it says to me a lot. It means you don't know what you're talking about, which, again, go watch previous videos. Go watch the video I put out in November 2021 said, who wins the tech war? The answer was not tech if you watched it and you knew that. The Adobe we talked about, this is the blow off top on February 2nd. Meh. It's going lower. Apple. Earnings. Professional gap, no. Novice gap and trap. Look at the volume. That's distribution. And then yesterday we talked about, I posted all that. I'm adding to the short. 154, 155. Oh, it got to 156. You idiot. It went a little higher. Sorry. Look at today. Double dojis. goodbye. And I mean not goodbye. Amazon, everybody wants to pick the bottom in this, and it's like, dude, this thing is dumpy. This is dookie. February 2nd. Oh, you don't remember what it did previously? Yeah, just choppy. It's choppy and slopping. I mean, I wouldn't trust this at all. But people want to buy it. CRM, we talked about getting institutional support. Be careful, but oh gosh, you broke support today. Yikes, below the 20-day. Guggenheim, everybody's trying to pick the bottom in this, which is ironic because, again, you don't get the bottom when everyone wants to buy it. Now, it doesn't mean it can't chop, then go lower, but that's looking like it is. I mean, that's, again, another novice gap trap. Do you see this? And you got the retest. The first top you don't pick, you don't buy options. Second one you do. Meta. It's up today, Dan. What do you think? What do you think, Dan? Are you still short, right? What do you think? Yeah, novice gap. February 2nd, meh. Just going to get there when it gets there. Again, shorted, took profits, reshorted. Now it's at support. If you got to take profits, I don't know. I mean, I have no desire to let a winner that I have great trade location and go completely taken off. I will let it do what it's going to do. Now, again, we're not even at the VIX is just at 20, guys, gals, friends, whatever, dinosaurs, kitty cats. The VIX is at 20. Wake up. The move hasn't started. Microsoft. Same thing. Novice gap went a little higher. Remember, they had earnings. Trap top. Meh. 20-day holding. Just a matter of when. NDAQ. We've said this a bazillion times in every recap. Why is the NASDAQ exchange doing so crappy? Because in the long term, ain't nobody buying tech stocks. They're going to lose momentum. Well, Dan, is that bearish? You tell me. Look at the damn chart. Now, it's hanging on to the 200-day like cliffhanger, Sylvester Stallone style. Just a matter of when. Again, because when tech loses momentum, the NASDAQ as an index, sorry, not index, as a exchange, volumes are going to do what? Die. The volume's going to go bye-bye. Well, it's already showing you that. Literally, this is November, December. If you short it up here, again, some of y'all know I got a little bit of it and then got out. If I just sort of sat on my hands, traded around a position. That's how it goes, though. MicroStrategy. Talked about shorting when it got up there yesterday. Oh, but it bounced today. Okay, well, I said this candle is not bullish, but some people are going to fight it. We'll see. Here's the Netflix. What do you think now, Dan? What do you think today? What do you think about this minute? What do you think about 30 seconds ago? Here's your chop top, and if you don't know, let me show you on the monthly. Or sorry, was it the weekly? Yeah, the weekly, and you can see it. Probably the monthly actually. Here you go. Yes. You hit the 20-month, and you hit range, the blue range highs. Short that donkey. Remember, we took this stock for a lot of points up. People don't remember that about how we were bullish. Remember? We gone. Okay, now what? It broke the 20-day. Just let it burn. Roblox, we talked about it. I wouldn't short this stock because I always think it's like going to get bought out at some point. But do yourself a favor. Watch for dips. I think you can buy dips on this because, again, I think there's massive accumulation down here. But we'll see. Again, I'd watch dips now. I never, if you shorted it on this day, well, then hero short, nice work. But at this point, leave it alone. Tesla started shorting this today. Now, as a stock, I've always said, and people who've been following, even like up here, I don't mind being a little late. Remember we talked about the retest here? Right? We talked about getting into the zone. Right? Talked about being late. Well, here you go. This thing has gone parabolic straight line. And maybe it's only a 30-point pullback. But is the risk worth the reward? You bet your butt. Game over. Here's the candle. Right? Gets the next candle game. Lower low. Lower high. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it can't go up to the 200-day. But if everybody thinks the 200-day is coming, is it? Because right now, we're at some massive resistance. Got it? Buying Tesla Q. Haven't bought any Tesla puts. Because, I think this is the retest, but clearly today gave opportunity. So I was like, oh, okay. I closed SPY puts and started buying Tesla Q. If we get a little higher next week, I will buy Tesla puts. Game time it. March 17th, probably the 210, 215s. Keep it simple. And again, we'll define the risk. People are going to go crazy when they're like, oh, you're shorting. Oh, my God, you're No. If you watch the recaps in January, we talked about buying it down here. Now, it didn't take it took like 20 points, something silly, not a lot. Let it run again because I didn't want to hold through earnings because I don't ever like to. Well, we knew the market could rally. Again, we weren't. No, if you've watched this video and we did not short. I did not put out any active shorts on this thing once. Now, a lot of people have tried to short it, and I've said, I don't know. And I don't know, and I thought maybe the 100-day, and then we had that on, obviously popping and chopping with earnings, and then it made a slightly higher high. Again, think about the momentum in this stock versus what kind of people are buying it. Is smart money buying Tesla? No, it's retail. And retail doesn't do what? They don't win. Letter X. Let's speed this up. Again, talked about being careful with it. Again, choppy top. I love this range up here. It's easy to trade around it. Now, again, if it pulls back to 17, 15, whatever, if the market gets smoked, which it might not. Either way, I like commodities on dips for the long term. I do not like tech at all. Zero for the long run. New core, people talk about shorting this. Like, I get it. Is there easier shorts? I think so. Watch the 20-day. Just keep it simple. Caterpillar. Again, I posted this in the Discord room. Watch what happens when it gets over 250. Hits the 20-day. Again, I've said it in multiple videos. Here you go. We shorted this for earnings. Just a small one put short. And then took stock. And now I've been trading around it. Didn't do anything with it today because it was up. Yeah, Deere had their earnings. Cool story. But again, I like Tesla way more short than a Caterpillar. That's for dang sure. VALE. Again, things that aren't. Again, look at all these things that just look weak. Peaked in January. VALE would be doing higher if it was strong. Arrow, copper, been doing okay, chopping. We'll see. Is it a new high? It's not. Just things that you need to watch. CCJ, again, I'm not recommending shorting any of these commodity names, but I think they're going to go lower. Talked about maybe this is a trap over 29, 28 area, whatever you want to. Man, look at it. Yeah, I remember my computer had some errors. Got the blue screen to death. Had to fix it up. Haven't saved. I need to. While I'm doing this, I'm going to hit the save button because I am just so notoriously bad at not saving. I'm going to do it right now. Probably not the best time. Someone's going to be like, you idiot, why are you doing this during the recap? Wasting my time. Okay, well, guess what? Here we go. 20-day. Watch what happens. If it gets below it, I'm telling you, I think this is not going to end well. Is that clear? Clear as day, clear as mud, clear as gin, whatever you want to call it. CF. Remember how at a pivot? Remember we liked this and we're trading around it? It's pretty fun. And then kapow, it's gone. Well, things that aren't bullish. Like I thought, I'm like, wow, maybe it is. Maybe the market could go higher. No. Nope. Evidence pointed to not. You were wrong. Mosaic, same thing. Hits the 200-day. Again, I love all these names, but on dips, major dips. I've said where in previous videos. Again, here you go. NTR hits the 200-day. Said, watch out below. Come on into the 70 range. AA Aeron. Again, why is aluminum not doing? Oh, the economy's on fire. Aluminum should. No. Again, steel. Again, I don't want to short those names, but you can. It makes sense, but just don't come asking me every day what you think about that trade. It's just like these are choppy, sloppy. I think tech is going to go straight line dumper at some point. Just chopping. I mean, aluminum news? No. Couldn't get any love after that. Let's get into the financials because I know a lot of people are just getting so frustrated about it. I'm like, too bad you just don't have time, right? Here you go. 20-day. Below it, chop top. Upside target zone. When? I don't know. But when it starts, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Even if it's just this, not going to be a bad move. JP Morgan, Chase. Chopping at the highs. 0.618. No love. No love. Baby, don't hurt me. No more. Morgan Stanley. Chopping. Making highs. Again, Goldman Sachs has been the one that's been, and all the crappy other bank names. I don't really talk about all of them because no one's going to trade them. But Goldman, no good. And when I say crap bank names, they're just like, they don't go anywhere. They're just all crap. Watch this. Because again, Jay sold the same thing. It's like, is this a trap? Looks like it. This is distribution. Rally's back. And now they're unwinding again. Feels like it. XBI. Now, XBI will rally if rates go lower near term, which makes sense. It held the 20-day, but again, something that peaked on February 2nd, chopping during OPEX, things that aren't bullish. Like this should be looking like it should be on the stage to go higher. It looks like it's on the stage to jump off the cliff. Big difference, okay? Solar, talked about this scam of a solar move up and down and chopping. Hit the 20-day, said watch rejection. Now we're just chopping at the lows. ENPH have talked about this. Everybody loves it, and it just continues to get smoked. It's about to break. When? I don't know. But a big down move, consolidation, down move, consolidation. Set your alarm. When the 200 level breaks, you're probably going to dump. If it doesn't, have a stop. Again, I don't know if I chase that. Again, I like first solar shorting. And Sedge, if you shorted up here, I can't remember who posted about it, but I'm like, I don't see why you wouldn't short it up here. Well, nice trade. 340 down to 300 in like 3 days. Hot diggity damn. First solar, we talked about on the live chat on Wednesday. Someone was like, what do you think? I was like, if you short this around 169, 170, I think in a couple days you'll be fine. But don't be surprised if this wild little minx, again, hence why the alarm set at 71 and change, goes a little higher before it flops. Yeah. It's just a matter of when, not if. Again, oil, gas, all this stuff's coming down. Commodities come down. To me, solar has the most hype in it, has the more downside. Again, new core steel or short first solar. Letter X, first solar. Just whatever. I mean, oil and gas, solar. The short is easy. Not XOP. Maybe you could, but whatever. Solar. Solar, solar, solar. Speaking of oil and gas, let's end it there and be done. Oil. Right? What do you think, Dan? Well, it's choppy, sloppy. Let it go. Natural gas. Stop asking me about UNG. Please, for the love of God, you're just getting murdered. This stock needs to reverse split. I just, God, stop it. ExxonMobil. New highs. Oh, look at that today. Didn't watch that at all today, but look at them apples. That ain't pretty. We talked about a fake out. Novice gap, maybe? Oh, snap. Even Exxon's starting to get it. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Just, again, if you want to short oil. Again, people were talking about buying oil and gas today, which is interesting, but that doesn't look good. Whoa! Oxy. Again, I haven't looked at these today until now. That could be the start of the next move down. Keep that on your radar. XOP. Oh, hot diggity damn. Whoa! Oh! Uh-oh. Well, again, that's, oof. Something doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right. PXD. Let me get. Whoa! Down another 7. Wow, these names, again. Global growth? Yeah. No. Whoa. Whoa. Sold. Okay, hope people stay away from this stuff. I mean, again, long term, probably at some point there will be a buy, but no. EQT pops. And here's the ex-dividend. Again, these guys they have managed their natural gas exposure so badly, it's such a joke. Leave them alone. I'm going to end it on a stock that I am starting to watch because I've seen Congress is starting to accumulate. These guys like to flex LNG transport, basically LNTD. The stock looks strong. Congress is buying. Now, again, people are like, where are you going to buy? I would probably wait for under 30. Right? I'd probably wait, too, because not that it can't go higher, but they throw the baby out with the bathwater. And if that is the case, this thing gets dropped, I'd put this on your radar. So, again, if you have any questions, please reach out. I appreciate all the love, support, the donations. Hopefully you're doing excellently. And when I say excellent, I mean like you're starting to get this. Again, the vision and when things happen is always the hardest part. You can see the trend and you've seen like choppy action. I mean, imagine if you bought this day and we're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. And then it just all of a sudden goes. Chop. Again, the V bottoms without retest are very rare. But then if they do, it's a head and shoulders bottom or head and shoulders top. And look, even this had a retest at the top. Is it going to fail up here? Probably. All right. Hope this helps. Reach out if you have any questions, please. When the student is ready to teach your peers, I will help people who want help. But if you just want help because you're like, where do I start? How do I do this? I want to trade. I'm not for you. I don't have the patience for that because when I want to do something, I give it my full effort. And I'm not going to waste my teacher's time because I know just like your time is valuable, mine is too. If you're not going to do the basics and to try to learn this stuff, well, don't expect someone to help you, right? It's like children who just want you to take care of them. Do you want me to treat you like a child that needs to be fully taken care of? Or do you want to be the independent child that just needs a little guidance from their parents? And essentially, I know it's probably a stupid analogy, but that's the legitimacy of it. Ultimately, if you want to be great at this, you need to give it great effort. But if you don't want to be great at this and don't care about your results and think you can just wing it, well, then guess what? Be like everybody else and expect to fail because 95% of traders fail. Blow up their accounts, guaranteed. All right. Talk to you guys soon. And have a great weekend. Hit me up if you need me. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, a PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.